Attributes of a concentrated mind. As mentioned earlier, the purpose of training in higher mind, Adhicitta Sikha, is to generate and increase the quality and capability of the mind. Concentration Samadhi, which is the aim of such training, refers to a state of mind with the optimal capability and efficiency. A concentrated mind has the following crucial attributes. 1. It is strong and powerful. This quality is compared to a strong current of water which is guided through a single channel. It will have far greater pressure than if left to disperse in all directions. 2. It is profoundly tranquil and peaceful. The mind is like a still lake. No wind rustles its surface, and nothing churns the water. 3. It is clear and pristine. Things in the mind can be seen clearly. This is like a still body of water, not streaked by waves, and in which any remaining dust has settled to the bottom. 4. It is malleable, adept, and well suited for the work of insight, because it is free from stress, rigidity, disturbance, confusion, agitation, and anxiety. As mentioned above, one synonym for samadhi is ekaggata, which is sometimes translated as a focus on a single object. But if we look at the literal meaning of this word as eka plus gata plus ta, we see an attribute of the mind that is similar to that described in item number 1 above of mental strength. At Ramana, the original meaning of this term is point, tip, or summit. According to this meaning, a concentrated mind is sharp and one-pointed. It can easily pierce and penetrate things and can easily become absorbed in something. The commentaries say that complete concentration, especially the concentration of jhana, is fully endowed with 8 qualities: atanga, samanangata-citta, which they derive from various teachings by the Buddha. These 8 qualities are: 1. Steadfastness, 2. Purity, 3. Brightness, 4. Clarity, 5. Freedom from defilement, 6. Malleability, 7. Dexterity, 8. Freedom from distraction and vacillation. Commentaries add that a mind endowed with these qualities is best suited for spiritual practice, whether it be the practice of applying wisdom in order to gain clear insight and understanding, or the practice of developing mental power in order to gain higher psychic attainments. The most outstanding attribute of a concentrated mind, which is connected to the true objective of developing concentration, is dexterity, a readiness and suitability for work and for application. According to the Buddhist teachings, the most legitimate or appropriate work is in the area of wisdom. One applies this state of mental readiness and dexterity to create a suitable arena of practice in order to contemplate reality and to give rise to true realization. And here it should be stressed that right concentration is not a state free from feeling and awareness, a vanishing into some altered state of consciousness, but rather it is a state of mental brightness, spaciousness, independence, wakefulness and joy, a freedom from obscuring, oppressive and obstructive qualities, and a readiness to apply wisdom. Consider the following teachings by the Buddha. Monks, these 5 things are obstructions and hindrances. They overwhelm the mind and weaken wisdom. These 5 things are sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and doubt. When a monk has not abandoned these 5 obstacles, hindrances that overwhelm the mind and weaken wisdom, when his wisdom is weak and ineffective, for him to understand what is for his own benefit, to understand what is for the benefit of others, to understand what is for the benefit of both, or to realize a superhuman distinction in knowledge and vision conducive to it being a noble one, that is impossible. Suppose there were a river flowing down from the mountains, winding far, its current swift, carrying everything with it, and a man would open channels leading away from it on both sides, so that the current in the middle of the river would be dispersed, diffused, and dissipated. It would not travel far, its current would not be swift, and it would not carry everything with it. The Brahman Sangharva approached the Blessed One and said to him, Master Gotama, what is the cause and reason why sometimes even those sacred hymns that have been recited over a long period do not become clear to the mind, let alone those that have not been recited? What is the cause and reason why sometimes those hymns that have not been recited over a long period become clear to the mind, let alone those that have been recited? The Buddha replied, Brahman, when one dwells with a mind besieged by sensual lust, overwhelmed by sensual lust, and one does not understand as it really is the escape from arisen sensual lust, on that occasion one neither knows nor sees as it really is one's own good, or the good of others, or the good of both. Then even those hymns that have been recited over a long period do not become clear to the mind, let alone those that have not been recited. This is the same for one who is besieged by ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt. The Buddha goes on to mention 5 similes for the mind overwhelmed by the 5 hindrances. 1. The mind overwhelmed by sensual lust is like a bowl of water mixed with lac, turmeric, green dye or red dye. If a man with good sight were to examine his own reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. 2. The mind overwhelmed by ill will is like a bowl of water heated over a fire, bubbling and steaming. If a man with good sight were to examine his own reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. 3. The mind overwhelmed by sloth and torpor is like a bowl of water covered over by water plants and algae. If a man with good sight were to examine his own reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. 4. The mind overwhelmed by restlessness and worry is like a bowl of water stirred by the wind, quivering, rippling, churning into wavelets. If a man with good sight were to examine his own reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. 5. The mind overwhelmed by doubt is like a bowl of water that is turbid, unsettled, muddy, placed in the dark. If a man with good sight were to examine his own reflection in it, he would neither know nor see it as it really is. When one dwells with a mind that is not besieged by sensual lust, and one understands as it really is the escape from arisen sensual lust, on that occasion one knows and sees as it really is one's own good, and the good of others, and the good of both. Then even those hymns that have not been recited over a long period become clear to the mind, let alone those that have been recited. Monks, there are these 5 corruptions of gold, corrupted by which gold is neither malleable, nor wieldy, nor radiant, but brittle, and not properly fit for work. What 5? Iron, copper, tin, lead, and silver. But when gold is free of these 5 corruptions, it is pliable, wieldy, radiant, not brittle, and properly fit for work. Whichever ornament a goldsmith desires to make, whether it be a ring, an earring, a necklace, or a gold chain, can be successfully used for that. So too there are these 5 corruptions of the mind, corrupted by which the mind is neither malleable, nor wieldy, nor radiant, but weak and not rightly concentrated for the destruction of the taints. What 5? Sensual desire, ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry and doubt. But when the mind is free of these 5 corruptions, it is pliable, wieldy, radiant, not fragile, and rightly concentrated for the destruction of the taints. Furthermore, when you incline your mind towards the realization of whichever things there are to be realized through direct knowledge, you attain the ability to witness these things, there being a suitable basis. If a monk is free from the 5 hindrances and makes tireless effort, possesses unremitting mindfulness, the body calm and at ease, his mind concentrated and unified, irrespective of whether he is walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, he is called energetic and endowed with a fear of wrongdoing, otapa. He makes resolute and consistent effort and devotes himself in a determined manner. As mentioned earlier, the commentaries offer these interesting analogies. Concentration causes the mind to be established on an object in a steady, consistent way, and brings about an integration of associated spiritual factors. They are not dispersed and dissipated, like water which binds flour into a single mass of dough. Similarly, concentration causes the mental processes to be composed and steadfast, like a candle flame in a still room. The flame is unswerving, constant, and uniformly bright. General objectives and benefits of concentration. As has been emphasized above, the aim of correct or right sama concentration is to prepare the mind for the successful application of wisdom. Put simply, the purpose of concentration is to assist wisdom, as explained in the following sutta passages. Concentration is for the goal of knowing and seeing the truth. The objective and reward of concentration is knowledge and vision of things as they really are. Purification of mind is for the sake of reaching purification of view. The development of concentration to purify the mind is for the sake of purification of knowledge and discernment. Concentration, when imbued with morality, has great rewards and blessings. Wisdom, when imbued with concentration, has great rewards and blessings. The mind imbued with wisdom becomes completely free from the taints, that is, from the taint of sense desire, the taint of becoming, and the taint of ignorance. Apart from these objectives mentioned above, the practice of concentration has further benefits, Some of these benefits are byproducts resulting from developing concentration in order to reach the goal of wisdom. Others are exceptional benefits which require special forms of training. And still others assist those individuals who have already attained the final goal of concentration. The benefits of concentration can be classified as follows. The final goal or ideal. In Buddhism, the true goal of concentration, with concentration being an essential factor of realizing this goal, is freedom from all suffering and mental impurity. The precise benefit here of concentration is to prepare the mind for wisdom in order to reflect on and gain insight into the true nature of reality. Concentration acts as a foundation for wisdom. In other words, concentration leads to knowledge and vision of things as they really are, yata bhuta yana dasana, which in turn leads to true knowledge, vidya, and liberation, vimutti. Although not considered the true goal of a concentration practice, a subsidiary benefit is the attainment of temporary states of liberation, that is, revocable deliverance of mind, ceto vimutti. This is a liberation from mental defilement through the power of the mind, especially through the power of jhana. The defilements are suppressed or checked by the strength of concentration for the duration of these concentrated states. Technically, this liberation is referred to as liberation by suppression, vikambana vimutti. B. The development of exceptional psychic abilities. The benefits of higher psychic attainments, sabhinya, the use of concentrative attainments, jhana samapatti, to generate psychic powers, and other mundane psychic attainments, like the divine ear, clairvoyance, telepathy, and recollection of past lives, which are sometimes referred to as extrasensory perception, ESP. C. Benefits to mental health and to a healthy personality. Concentration has positive effects on a person's mind and disposition. It induces such qualities as inner strength, decisiveness, vigor, resilience, tranquility, cool-headedness, joy, loving kindness, compassion, and wise discernment. This is in contrast to a person overcome by the hindrances, who tend to be thin-skinned, rude, irascible, aggressive, agitated, easily infatuated, hasty, intrusive, suspicious, lethargic, depressed, and indecisive. Concentration prepares the mind for the development of other spiritual qualities and for the cultivation of good habits. A person with concentration knows how to calm the mind and to both control and ease any mental suffering. One is able to keep one's emotions in check, and one has a strong mental immune system. These advantages increase when one applies concentration as a basis for the practice of the four foundations of mindfulness. By mindfully paying attention to one's words and deeds and to one's emotions and thoughts, one determines to use this knowledge only for beneficial purposes and to prevent any danger or harm to arise. D. Benefits to everyday life. Concentration brings about mental relaxation, inner peace and happiness. It reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, and it also relaxes the body. One can practice mindfulness of breathing, say while waiting for the next activity to begin, while stuck in traffic, or as a break from taxing mental work. This benefit in its complete form refers to the concentrative attainment used by the Buddha and the arahants for resting the mind and body. To be at ease during periods free from other activities. This form of concentration is given the special term abiding at ease in the present, Ditta Dhamma Sukha Vihara. Concentration enhances a person's capability in work, study, and all forms of activity. A concentrated mind, when pointed on an activity, not disturbed, distracted, or forgetful, leads to successful work, study, and contemplation. A person works with circumspection and is careful to prevent mishaps. This is because concentration is usually combined with the guiding factor of mindfulness. The mind is dexterous, kamaniya. It is ready and suitable for work. If combined with the benefits mentioned in number 1 above of mental relaxation, etc., the success of one's activities will be even more greatly enhanced. Concentration promotes physical health and aids in curing illness. The mind and body are interdependent and have a bearing on one another. When ordinary people have a physical illness, the mind too tends to become weak and depressed. And when a person is discouraged, the illness often gets worse. Even when the body is healthy, if people encounter an intensely upsetting situation, they may fall ill. On the other hand, when those individuals whose minds are strong, especially those persons who are liberated, have a physical illness, only the body is unwell, the mind remains at ease. Moreover, such persons can use this strong and contented mind to alleviate the symptoms, reduce the severity of the illness, and facilitate the healing process. They can also use the power of concentration to reduce physical pain. When the mind is bright and joyous, the body tends to be at ease and healthy. A joyful mind boosts the immune system. This relationship also has a bearing on the body's physical needs and metabolism. When the mind is happy and at ease, less food is required for the body to be healthy. For example, a person who is delighted by something often feels no hunger. But a monk who has a realization of truth is nourished by bliss piti. Although he eats only 1 meal a day, his complexion is bright because he does not hanker after the past or fantasize over the future. The converse is also true. Many physical illnesses are psychosomatic and are caused by mental imbalance. Anger and anxiety, for example, can be a source of headaches and stomach ulcers. Developing wholesome mind states helps in curing these illnesses. This benefit of enhancing physical health is brought to perfection when wisdom is also engaged.